Alright, so what's going on, guys? What we got here is a TRAXXAS TRX4 Sport. Yeah, I know. Didn't I just show you guys one not long ago that I built? Yeah, that one. Didn't you have a Bronco before that? Yeah, my son has it now. This one I actually picked up from Facebook Marketplace from a young man named Andy. It's been well enjoyed. It is all there and it does work. It does need a little bit of a facelift. I mean, from that to this, we're gonna have to do something about this guy here, which I've already got handled, which is the reason I actually bought this in the first place. Most people have a truck and buy a new body for it. I actually bought a truck for a body that I already had. I was going to use it on that truck and then decided to go ahead and use the Jeep because I had it, and I didn't want to just sitting around. I actually have another Jeep body that I accidentally ordered two of when I ordered that one. That one's probably just going to sit. I'm not a huge Jeep fan, but I wanted to use it, so. But I have something completely different for this. We're not doing another Jeep. But anyway, let's see how it functions and goes before I tear into it and give her a good clean. I got some stuff to go over a little bit and a little snugging up, and I mean there's a bit of play there. I don't know if you guys can see that, but she's got some play. The links are all pretty tight. They're all not too bad. Not too much play in those. That's about standard. But that steering's got some play. And that's partially to do with these ball joints are also a bit loose. Now, I suspect from the rust and the dirt on this that they're probably honestly just worn. Not a huge deal. Eventually I'd like to get some aluminum axles for this anyway, but we're gonna rock these guys anyway. Meanwhile, even for the build, I'm leaving pretty much everything the way it is. I am going to change this motor out to, I'm taking it from that truck, the brushless system, and putting it in this one. Reason being is my brake lights, reverse lights don't work with the brushless system, so that's why I'm taking it back out, putting the stock electronics back in it, then all my brake lights and everything will start working again. This is not going to have the same setup. I'm not doing a TRAXXAS setup in this, so I can run the brushless in here. But yeah, let's see how this does real quick, and then yeah, we'll start turning into it. Let's try this view real quick here. I will admit, I was already up here playing. I have done this challenge already, just messing around. And I did move actually knocked the boards a little bit, so we'll see if we can still make it. Uh-oh. Yeah, well, it wasn't how we were supposed to do it, but it worked. Uh-oh. Yeah, we're done. Once that wheel's hooked, that's it. The wheel right there is hooked under the rock. I don't think I can get it back. Maybe. There we go. There you go. All in all, not too bad. I mean, a little beat up, but I bought it used. It wasn't brand new, so I expect it. It works a lot better than I thought it was going to work, to be honest with you. And when I went there to look at it, I barely looked it over at all. I wasn't really concerned because I knew that I was going to tear this apart anyway. The entire truck's coming apart regardless. So let me get started with that. Alright, I was about to just start ripping it apart, and I figured, well, for the people who don't know, I better show what this guy looks like now, because it is completely different than the Sport. But the Sport is completely different from the regular TRX4. Oh, my paintbrush. Alright, so as you can see, the Sport doesn't have wheel wells or the brace up front. It doesn't have the rear ones. It doesn't have the 2 additional servos to lock the axles. These axles are just permanently locked. It doesn't have the 2-speed transmission servo or a 2-speed transmission. I believe they use the same transmission, but they lock it out somehow. It's the same way they do the axles. I'm assuming everything is still in there. I think you just gotta buy a kit or something. Not something I plan on doing. I plan on keeping this as minimal as possible. I'm actually going to be taking more out. So with that brushless motor I'm putting in, we will be eliminating the speed controller and not the motors. We're still got the motor, but having a speed controller in here. It's an all-in-one. It's the Fusion something. I don't remember. It's in that truck there. I'll pull it out and show you later. The battery tray is also going. I have to take the battery tray out. And the rear shock towers are gone too. Body posts are gone. Bumpers are gone. Literally the only thing we're using is the transmission, the chassis, and the axles. And the, I don't know what you call these, floor pans? I don't know. That's it. Everything else goes. So as I tear this apart to clean it, I will show you what it looks like and put it back together. After I clean it, you will see what's different. All right, well, we're tore into it pretty good now, I'd say. And here's the main reason I'm tearing into it. There's a lot of yuck in there. That's the transmission. We don't want all that yuck in there. Or that rust. We'll clean that too. All right, well, excuse me. Let me get these parts cleaned. I'm gonna probably replace these transmission bearings just because I don't want to clean them right now. I have a brand new pair that are just sitting around. They're left over from another build, so I will probably throw those just in the transmission only, just so I don't have to take that back apart after I get it clean. But this is where we're at, guys. Yay! I'll be right back. Alright, so in here I have water, dish soap, and a little tiny bit of purple powder just to cut through the grease. I'm not going to leave it in here long. Purple powder is pretty strong, and I know that it will dry the plastics out, so I'm not going to let it sit in there too long. I'm just going to let it agitate, stir around a bit, let it do its thing, eat some of that stuff up, and then pull it off. Pull it out of there. Rinse it off. And then in here, I've got some vinegar to try and get that rust all off, which is working. It's all coming off. And then I'll coat them and what we're using. Alright, more cleaning. Time to bust the brush out. Alright, be back in a minute. Alright, so I found some bad bearings in the transmission. No big surprise. It's obviously been exposed to water and all that good stuff. I got new bearings here. I just picked those up, and then I also picked up some inner fenders. I actually need them for the front only. I'm not going to use them in the rear. That's part number 8080 on the TRAXXAS. I think they're originally for the Bronco, the newer style Bronco. They're a little bit narrower, so they're going to fit inside, and also have my wheel wells. I'm going to need these to basically hold all the electronics. We're going to move them from where the cab would be to where the engine bay would be. I'll show you that more later when we get into all that. But right now, I got everything cleaned. All the transmission stuff's all clean. all the plastics. All the screws are clean. They're stripped down. As you can see, they look a little yucky still. I got all the rust off, but now they're bare. So I'm gonna try to black oxide them. So let's see how that works, and then I'll start getting this thing back together. All right, what I'm trying to show you guys here is how I'm redoing the black oxide. Now this stuff really stinks doing this. There are chemical ways of doing it. I'm doing it the old school way. Basically, I have, hi Harley, I have 5W30 synthetic. Doesn't matter what oil you use. It really doesn't matter what oil you use at all. You're gonna heat up your screw really hot, and you're just gonna try submerge it in the oil. Get it hot, let her smoke. And what that's doing is that's going to recoat the screws so that they're not all rusty and unprotected. So if there's any like RC screws that you got that's really hard to find or really rare to get and they look kind of crappy, you can do this. And then they'll look like brand new again after you clean them. I'm just basically doing it just to do it, and because I don't want to spend $50 on a stainless steel kit, and I don't want to put these screws back in because they'll instantly rust the way they are. So I'm just going to spend a few minutes doing this, and they should look brand new again. Here, let's take a look. This one's been in here for a minute. Looks like new again. I gotta get the oil off it. Let me show it to you with the oil off. Hold on. Well, there is definitely no denying that technique works 100%. There's a couple here that you still see a little bit of yuck on, and that's mostly because I didn't get them clean enough. If I'd have got it cleaner, that would have all been gone. But let's see a good one. Looks brand new now. That's night and day. Technique works if you put the effort into it. It didn't take me very long, honestly, but I mean, it is easier to click put in shopping cart than it is to do this. But again, this saved me 50 bucks. Stainless steel kit. I didn't want to spend 50 bucks on stainless steel. Plus, I've had stainless steel shear and break on me on certain situations, so I'd rather just stick with the plain Jane steel ones and make them look good again if I can. And these will eventually rust again, but it'll be a while. It'll be like, you know, almost as long as when it was new. As long as it'll take. All right, let's get this back together. All right, this is how far I've gotten so far. I haven't put the motor back in yet, or the receiver, and I obviously put wheels back on. And you can see it looks quite different from before. So we do have our inner fenders on. And I decided to do a cantilever for the body we're going to be running on this, which I will get into in a moment. Started to pull the motor out of this TRX4, and I remembered how much wiring was in here, and I was like, you know, I don't think I need brake lights and reverse lights that bad. I'm not going to do that. So I haven't decided what I'm going to do with this yet. So I think we're going to hit a pause button on this one, and I'm going to catch you guys next week. This is how far we've gotten. Yeah. It works pretty good. Yeah, I didn't bother redoing the axles, like I said, because eventually I'm going to replace those. But let me clear the bench off real quick, and I will show you why we're even doing all this. Alright, well, there you are. We're going to do the Toyota Land Cruiser. And I bought a bunch of the accessory parts for it already. And that's why I bought a chassis. Yeah. And I already bought these I already opened, because I was going to put it on the other TRX4 previously and changed my mind. Now we're actually going to do it. So there you go. I have honestly already opened this. I will give you a little sneak peek. Alright guys, there you go. There's your sneak peek. Hope you tune in next week. See what more I've done with it. Right now it's literally just sitting on there. We're gonna get this all painted up, mounted up, and I don't know if I'll get it finished by next weekend, but we'll get some more done on it. Thanks for watching. See ya.